David Smith, and welcome to Correctional Officer Lifestyle. Hey folks, this is David Smith at Correctional Officer Lifestyle. I'm actually responding to a video that was put up by Tier Talk, Mr. Anthony Ganji, and he had a lady on there with him, Colleen. Cannot remember her last name. I am horrible. I apologize. But they were talking about the effects of working a double on your staff. Be it police, corrections, first responders, whatever you do, the effects of working a double on your staff. They were both speaking from the 8-hour shift model and didn't really have any insight as to the 12-hour shift model. Now, 12-hour shifts present a specific problem for working a double in that you're not going to work a double. You're going to work what we refer to as an extended day in the state of Florida. You're not going to work a double because a double would be a 24-hour shift. And if you're working two 12-hour shifts in a row, you would still have to stay and work for 36 hours, and nobody in their right mind is going to make you do that. Okay, nobody in their right mind is going to allow that to happen. Aside from the fact that it's against federal labor standards, nobody's going to do that. We do not go past 16 hours in the state of Florida. Unless it is an emergent situation. If it is an emergent situation, if there is a crisis, if there is an emergency, then yes, you can be required to work past 16 hours. I was actually on a shift where I worked over 16 hours, but it was a hurricane, which is an emergency situation. So, but anyway, I just went down a rabbit hole, sorry. With 12-hour shifts, you're obviously not going to work a double, per se. You're going to work an extra 4 hours, okay? In the state of Florida, we work on either side of the shift. You can either come in 4 hours early, stay 4 hours late. The problem with that, okay, I am no mathematical wizard, but 4 hours at the beginning of the shift, 4 hours at the end of the shift, that's 8. That leaves 4 hours in the middle of the shift because 8 minus 12 is 4. Or 12 minus 8 is 4. So you've got a gap in the middle of the shift where you're just going to have vacant positions. Therein lies the problem. Now, 12-hour shifts, you work 16 hours if you're working over. Okay, you volunteer or you voluntold. One of those two things is going to happen, and you're working 16 hours. Now, the voluntold part, it's a word that I use comically. It's actually, we have an extended duty roster, an extended day roster for correctional officers. And so we put everybody on the shift and list in alphabetical order to ensure that everybody has worked an extended day before anybody else is required to work one. So you go down the list. Now, first you're going to ask for volunteers. You're going to make sure you know the people that want to stay on the roster first. And then you've got the extended day roster where you are pulling people off the roster by name to stay for an extended day. So that's what we got. There's other detriments to it, okay? The first thing and foremost thing that we are trying to do when we hold people over or have them come in early is to staff the shift to make the shift safe. Okay, now just to throw a number out there, the number is 5. Let's just say 5. Whatever has happened, inmates in the hospital, you've got to send staff down for that. You got to put an extra post out. You've got a construction site that you've got to watch. Whatever you've got going on, you are 5 positions down. So you get 5 people to stay over. You're fully staffed. 4 hours later, you're 5 in the hole. And you work 5 in the hole for the next 4 hours. 4 hours after that, you get people coming in. Okay, and you're whole again. You can actually function. But that 4 hours in the middle, you're praying for something not to happen. That's what you're asking for. Oh my God, please let nothing happen. Okay. But the other side of that coin is, instead of pulling 5 people off of that extended day roster, you've pulled 10. So you're burning through that roster twice as fast as you would normally, because you've got 5 at the beginning of shift and 5 at the end of shift. That's twice the amount of staff that should be required, especially if you're on an 8-hour shift model, that are required to get you through the shift. So you're still working 16 hours. You're still getting 16 hours, but instead of 5 people getting that 16 hours and not burning out the rest of the shift, you got 10 people getting that 16 hours and destroying the rest of the shift. Aside from that, when you are trying to get staff to help you the next night, there's 5 people that can't even ask because they're coming early. So we have made it a habit in the state of Florida to shoot ourselves in the foot to staff a roster. And it's not fair. Now, the effects on the body with working twice the amount of people on a 12-hour shift that you would on an 8-hour shift, your burnout factor is burnout squared. You're going through these people faster than you would on an 8-hour shift model, so you're burning them out that much faster because you still got to staff the institution. You can't let the institution just run dry. You still got to staff the institution. But now, instead of burning through 5, you're burning through 10. Or if the number's 2, you're burning through 4. And I say burning through because people are getting burned out. On these 12-hour shifts models with these extended days, people are getting burned out. People are getting to where they don't want to do it anymore. And it's not fair. And it's not right. We shouldn't have this problem. That's why, that's one of the main reasons I am so glad that the Secretary of the Department of Corrections in Florida, Mr. Mark Inch, is pushing so hard to get us back to an 8-hour shift model. It's safer. It's better for staff. And I really look forward to doing it because 12-hour shifts are great for time off. You're working 14 days a month. But when we're burning you out so fast that you're having to call in on some of those days because you're quite literally sick, because you're exhausted and your body doesn't have the ability to cope, or this happens a lot. Nobody tells me this, but I know it happens. If I go to work tonight, I know they're going to have me to stay over and work an extra 4 hours, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to call in so I don't have to do that. Or the one that I hate the worst, I am mad at my captain because he won't let me work where I want to work, so I'm going to call in. And every one of those scenarios that we get increases the number of people we got to hold. And if it was an 8-hour shift, it would increase by 1. But because it's a 12-hour shift, it increases by 2. That's not right. That's not fair. And it's detrimental to our staff. First and foremost, folks, you have to understand, especially as a supervisor, the words, I am my brother's keeper and I am my sister's keeper, are not just words, okay? And you have to do everything you can to help protect your brothers and sisters. but the burnout factor is real. The burnout factor is real. We're having a serious problem with it, and I'm hoping that it gets better in the future. We've got recruitment on the absolute rise at the institution I work from. Man, we are getting some folks in left and right. We're going to be looking good here in a month. We're going to be looking real good. But we got to get there. And staff's already tired. These 12-hour shifts models are not conducive of a correctional environment, in my opinion, and working an extended day just makes it that much worse. I hope this video helps you in some way or another. I hope this video is beneficial to you. And folks, if you got something to say to me, hit me up in the comments. I got no issues with that. Hit me in the comments. I might not get to you right away because I do still work at a prison where I can't carry a device other than the one that they give me. But hit me in the comments. In the links below, I will post my email address. I'll post my Facebook address. I'll hit you with my Instagram handle. You can contact me in any way. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you about what we got going on. I'll talk to you about what you got going on. I will talk to you. But for right now, I'm going to get off of here, and I'm going to go ahead and post this thing to YouTube. Remember, I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. Y'all be safe behind the fence. See you next time.